Welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. So let me exit out, and the next thing I'd like to do now, maybe I should put that right underneath here, underneath all my variables and so on. I'm going to create a private function here, and this function I'm going to use it to manipulate the connection of all the strings in my database. So I'm going to call it update table. Okay, and inside this my function, the first thing I like to do is, you see this very object that I created in there, I'm going to call that same object in here, enter that object in there, then I'm going to say dot connection string. This connection string is going to be used to manipulate the strings within this system. So connection string, let's say server, then plus server, plus I'm going to enter, let's enter a semicolon there. Then the next one is going to be the user ID. So let's say user ID, close that, and let's enter another. I'm going to just enter plus in there. Let's say user ID equals plus, and that is going to be username. Okay, the server equals server, it should be plus here. Okay, and there's a comma there, this equals user, and this user should have a comma here as well. Then let's enter another speech mark. Then the next one is going to be for my password. Let's come down here and just enter password. You can see before I actually come down to the next row, I sort of like enter a space there. Okay, so if you want to do that, you must enter a space, and I'm going to just enter plus and so on, just more or less repeating the same thing over and over again. So in fact, I can copy all of this, paste it right here, and just change the text content. Now this one is going to be password, and in here this will be password as well. Hey, there should be a plus here though. Okay, now we have that done. The next one here, that is going to be the name of the database itself. So let's enter database. Database equals database. Okay, grab that and just paste that in here, equals database, and all of this we have to go there. Now that is taken care of. And let's come back up here now, let's ask this guy to open up. So come back here, just dot open, and I will also ask the command here, SQL command that I have in there, SQL command dot connect, the connector that I have up here. So dot connect, and what are you connecting? Equals SQL connect, this one. Now let's grab the command again. So I'm going to ask the command to select from my database. So let's say command SQL command dot command text, and that is going to be equals, let's say select from. Now we need the name of my database. If I come up here, that is my database right there, this very one. I can even copy all of that. Copy it. If you guys can still recall, my connector is called. So I'm going to come in here and just paste the name of my database there. There we go. Enter that in there. And you see all of those errors are gone. Okay, that's taken care of. Now, let's do one more thing. We now need the reader. This very guy here. Grab the reader. Okay. Now, underneath here, we say reader equals SQL command dot execute reader. There, that's fine. Now the next one we want to go for is the data table. This very one. This right there. That's the data table. Okay, I'm going to grab that and I'm going to place that right underneath here, underneath the reader. So the data table itself dot, we now want you to load. So load whatever the reader has got. So that will be SQL reader. Okay, now that is loaded, once we load whatever we have inside SQL reader, we can close that. SQL reader dot close. And we can also close the connector, SQL connect dot close. There. Enter parentheses. And finally, we now need to assign all that we have straight onto our data grid view here. This data grid view, I think is called data grid view 1. Copy that. Come right down here. And just paste that underneath here. Data grid view 1 dot data source. And where is that data source from? It's going to be from the SQL data table. There, that's that taken care of. Just like that. Okay, as you guys can see, if you notice, the function kind of like grayed out because I haven't used it. So I'm going to copy that very function and I'll call that function inside my form load. So let's come in here, double click on the form and just paste that in there. The form will actually initialize the database itself. Okay, just one thing, let me show you guys something. That is the name of my table. That's the name of my database, and that is the name of my table as well. You can just call your database and your table, but I did the same thing, but for your information I can just delete that. Okay, because they both have the same name anyway, so there won't be any problem. And that is it right there. Alright, so you can do it that way, or you can just leave it the way it is. So now the next thing we want to do, we need to now add data. Let's go to add, because the database is empty, there's nothing in there. So even if I run the system, there will be nothing. You won't be able to see anything because I haven't entered any data yet. Okay, so even if I run it now, nothing will happen. You guys will just see a plain data grid view. So I can run it. So let's run it and you see what I'm talking about. Just waiting for it to pop up. There we go, look at that, it's working, that's fine. But I need to be able to add data. Once I add data, we will be able to see whatever data entered inside my data grid view. So that's fine. So I'm going to exit out. Let's double click on our data. Now the first thing I'd like to do is I'm going to come up here and just grab the following. Let's just grab all of these and just that for now. Let's grab that. copy, and I'm going to bring it right down inside my add new data. Paste that in there. Okay, I have my server. I have the user ID, username. Okay, I have the password and the database. That's good. Okay, now let's use try cache here, just in case if I run into any error. Try, and okay, right in here where I have the cache, I'm going to grab all of this and let's put that in here. Okay, now that error is gone. With the cache message, I can just enter. Let's come in here. I'm going to grab all of this and just paste that in there. That will be my message. If there's any error, drop that in there. And let's say that's the name, that's correct. We can just put a message in here, or I can get the system to give me a message. I'm going to call that xe.message. Okay, and you give me a message, so that's fine. And in here I'm going to change this one to information.info. Alright, that's fine. And let's change this one to OK. Yeah, that's fine. So the try cache is taken care of. Now in here, open up the data. Okay, open up the database, and here let's use a query here. Let's get rid of these ones. I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, not to confuse you guys, let's get rid of all of this. I'm still going to need it. So there, I'm going to call that MySQL query equals insert. Let's put that in a quote in there. Yep. Insert. And why do I have an error here? Did I not declare that? Okay, let's go up here. I think I did not declare it, so I'm going to come down here and just say dim query as a string. Yeah, so that error should be gone now. Where is it? Yeah, that error is gone. Okay, so I want you to insert into my database. This is my database here. It's called MyConnector. So I'm going to grab that and just paste that right here. MyConnector.connect. That's the name of my database, the table and the database and the table. Okay, and in there I have the following data. So let's see. Let's go in there. Have all of this: student ID, first name, and so on. So let's enter those in here. So the first one is going to be student ID. Student ID. Okay, that is my very first one. Then I'm going to enter a comma there, then followed by first name, surname, comma, and address, comma, we have a postcode. Let's see, how did I write the postcode in here? Let's see. Okay, with uppercase C. Postcode, comma, and finally I have a telephone. There. So that's taken care of. Now let's say the value. Value that is going to be, say, and what is that going to be? The name of my very first text box. Let's see the name. That is txt. Yeah, txt. student ID. So in there I should have student ID in there, dot text. And the next one is going to be, let's say, and the next one, that will be, let's comma here, and we also need, and the next one, that is my txt first name dot text, yeah, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that for the others. So I can just grab this and just copy and paste, then change it around. Okay, this is surname. Okay, and grab all of these. And paste here. Get rid of this. Surname, the next one is going to be address. Change this to address. And so on, guys. I'm going to speed that up. And there, guys. So what I'm going to do next is, let's call my, let's say, the update data. Yeah, that's it. Updates table. I need to call that as well. And one other thing is, supposing we have an error, let's get this one to finally dispose of any error. I'm going to say finally. Okay, and that will be the connector SQL connect dot dispose. All right, there. And that is all there is to that. So I'm going to try this out. So far I don't think there's any error here, so I'm going to try it out. Let's run it and see. And we take it from there. Save, run. There we go. False achievement, there's no error, nothing. So I'm going to add some data in here. Let's say the very first one is going to be that. That's the student ID, and the name is, let's say, James Dean. Yeah, why not? An address of James Dean, number 19. Let's call it Wallet Avenue. And okay, telephone number. Alright, so let's click on add. Yeah, it's working. Look at that. That is fine. Let's see if I can duplicate this very student ID. No way, Jose. That's good. I like that. Supposing I enter 2 in there and just that works. Okay. And now James is there. Let's change this to Sammy. Let's say South. Yes, Sammy South End. And change all of that. Change his telephone number as well. There we go. Add. Oh, I need to change the primary key. Naughty boy. I shouldn't have forgotten that. Yep, that's it. I shouldn't have forgotten that. There we go. That's fine. Okay. So we can now take care of the rest of them. Nothing is happening now. So this is working and this is working as well. Alright, let's take care of 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Now, let's take care of one very easy one. Double click on this guy here. Double click on that. And I'm going to enter the following lines of code for the reset. So those are the lines of code that will take care of my reset button right there. Okay, there. So if I run it now, let's run it and you guys see how those lines of code works. So I come in here, just enter whatever value in here and try this out as well. Reset, that is it, taken care of. So let's take care of the update. So let's come in here, double click on update, and let's speed that up. In fact, there we go. Those are the lines of code for my update. Right here, from here, take it down here. Okay, those are the lines of code for the update. So I'm going to show you guys how the update works. But before we can get the update to work, we need to right click on this, okay, or select that, and let's come straight to the property here, and we click on cell click. So double click on that or press enter, and we then enter the following lines of code for the data grid view. One cell click, that is it. Those are the lines of code for that as well. Okay, have a good look at it. I just want to speed this up. This is for update. Let's move that up. And here, that is my reset. Lines of code for reset. There. So let's run it and you guys see how that works. Okay, I'm going to select one of these. There we go. And let's say we want to change any of these. Okay, let's change the avenue to road. There. And take a good look at this. So I'm going to click on update. There we go. Let's just change the avenue to road. So that is working. That works. And this works. So we need to just take care of delete and print. So we're gonna have to speed that up as well. Double click on delete. So for the delete, I'm just going to use a very simple line of code. Let's use a for loop for each row as data grid view row. There we go. In data grid view 1, dot selected rows, and that selected row we want the data grid view. Copy that. Press enter here. Data grid view dot rows dot remove, just to remove whatever we have on that row. There. That's it. So I'm now going to also call my update function. There we go. There. So I'm going to save that. Those are the simple line of code I'm going to use for that data grid view itself. So run. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to select one of these and let's change its name to Helen Dean or Helen Moon, and change this as well. Let's change this and change this. There. Okay, that's a new data. So set. Oh, primary key is the same. Oh dear. Okay, update. We have Ellen there. Okay, let's change this around again, and there. So I'm going to delete that. So let's say delete. Yeah, that's it. Done. Okay, that is fine. All we then need to do now is to take care of print. There. Exit. So now we need to take care of this. Let's come in here, double click on the print button, and there, those are the lines of code for the print button. There. So it's more or less like you taking a print screen of the data grid view itself. So let's do one more thing, and the print document there, double click on the print document, referring the print document to the data grid view itself, and that is it right there. Okay guys, okay, that's the variable that I declared right up there. I've now make use of it. All right, okay, and let's take care of the search as well. So I'm going to select the search here. Let's go to the properties here. Make sure you select event, and we want key press right in here. Let's double click on that, and right in here, that's the key press, the event. So in here, let's enter the following lines of code for the search there. So those are the lines of code for search. So I will now run it. So let's save it all, then just run it and see. There we go. So I'm going to click on print first. Let's see how the print works. There we go. That's the print right there. Okay, so if you want to print, just click on this. I don't have a printer on my system, so there's no point doing that. And that is it for the print. Let's take care of, or let's have a look at the print function, the search function as well. Just gonna enter maybe Helen there. Let's enter Helen and press enter. There we go. The two Helen's data that appears in there. Okay, so that is it. Everything works. Exit works, so you can see there. Okay, let's run it one more time. So just before that, that is my search, and we have the print functions, search, print, and the print button. We have delete, working from the data grid view. When you click on that, update, then we have reset, and that is the add data. So let's run it and see now, and we can just call it the end of this tutorial there. So I can select, let's select James, there we go, and reset, and we can add another data in there, and the name, let's say Sunny Jonathan, and the address number 4 Goldstown. And the telephone number there. All they need to do is to click on add. There we go, and the details of Sunny is officially added onto the spreadsheet or data grid view. So with that guys, I'm going to call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. That helps a great deal if you guys are a member of the channel. It only costs £1.99 per month. So thanks for watching, and you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.